Hi viewers. So this time we want to know, or we want to see that how to execute a Python written program by using VC Code or Visual Studio Code. For this, obviously, we need a VC Code environment in the Python tool, a Python language. So to download the VC Code, simply go to the Google and write down VC Code download and then click on this. You will see here the first link is download Visual Studio Code for Mac, Linux and Windows, and the second one is Visual Studio Code code editing redefined. So this is the official web address of VC Code. So I'm going to click on this. Simply click on this. You will come to another Windows. So if you are using Windows operating system in your system, simply click on this link, download for Windows. But if you are using Mac operating system, then simply click on this. If you are using Linux operating system, then simply click on this. Since I'm using Windows in my system, that's why I'm going to simply click on this download link. After clicking this, here is a pop-up menu is opened, which tells me that VC Code user setup exe file is going to download. Since I have already installed in my system, I download and install in my system. So that's why I'm going to cancel this downloading. So after downloading, simply go to the folder where this exe file is downloaded, and then simply double click on this exe file. The downloading process will be start. Then simply you people know very well that how to download. Simply press by pressing next, next and next. So after successful installation, you will come to a Windows like environment like this. Let me, since I have already installed, let me show here Visual Studio Code. So when first time you will click, you will come, you will see an interface like that. So if you divide this screen, okay, let me show you one thing more. That's what are inside the Visual Studio Code. If we look at this, meet IntelliSense, go beyond syntax highlighting and autocomplete with IntelliSense, which provides smart completion based on variable types, function definition, and imported modules. It means that if you start writing a word, any a variable name or any built-in function or built-in keyword, when you starting just writing by the first keyword or first character, the VC Code compiler IntelliSense part will provide rest of the part of this word. Similarly, this is really a great features of VC Code. IntelliSense print statement debugging is thing of the past. Means there are cells inside the VC Code environment, and you run each cell from this IDE. Similarly, if we look here, that VC Code supports a lot of languages, a lot of code. For example, if you want to write a program in JavaScript, you can write JavaScript code using VC Code. Similarly, Python, Java, C Sharp, PHP, C and C++. There are a lot of packages, languages that you can write their codes in VC Code, and VC Code will successfully execute this code. So now let's see the environment. If we divide the windows, this is basically, if you look at the central part, recently, since I am working on my Python project test work, etc., these are my directories which I have created already. And these are the walkthroughs. Get started with VC Code. Discover the best customization to make VC Codes your. If you want to learn that how to start with VC Code, simply click on this. Learn the fundamentals if you want to learn the fundamentals, and get started with, and so many things are there. If we look at the extreme left side to this Windows, here we will create our workspace. Workspace means all my files related to this workspace, or I'm working on some files, all these files will be stored in the workspace. This is very important thing to note. Acha, the first thing is extensions. Which type of extension are supported by Visual Studio Code? Simply, if I simply click on this, these are the different extensions which are supported by Visual Studio Code. For example, C or C++, etc. If I write here, let's suppose I want to work in C sharp. So if I write here C sharp, these are the different extension. So now some extensions are here asking me to install. Since I'm also working on C sharp, the C sharp is already installed. But if you look at uh, the screen, mm, when you first time open the VC code, you will come to the interface like that. Here, Python will be uninstalled here. And how you will install? By simply clicking the install button, Python will install using the Visual Studio Code. But since I am already working on Python, if I write here Python, Python is already installed here. Why? Because I'm already working on it. So means by simply clicking, similarly, if look at this Python indentations, if I simply click on this, the indentation will be, the installation of Python indentation will be start here. So means you can install by simply clicking on this. So once you have installed the Python, similarly, this interface will be in front of you. Now, this is another important thing, that is Explorer. If I click on this, here is get started, no folder open, open folder, etc. What does it mean? Here we will create our workspace. All our file will be saved in this workspace. For example, I'm just click on open folder, then I am creating my workspace on desktop. So on desktop, I'm going to create my workspace directory, that is uh, simply Python. So Python is my working directory or my workspace. Then I'm going to select it. Python does not exist. Uh, okay. Uh, New folder, and then select folder. So if now this new folder is my directory, new folder is my directory. Now how to create Python files? We can create Python files if I click on new folder, then the first symbol, if I place it new file, since I'm going to create a new file, I simply click on this new file, and here I'm going to name that file hello.py. First, I am going to create a Python script file. Now simply press enter. Now look at this, the editor with .hello.py name is opened here. So how to write a code and then how to run the code? Here I'm going to declare a simple variable, then hello world, and then I'm going to just print this variable message. So this is my simply Python code. You can write here so many things like, okay, let me run. How you can run this code? If you look at the extreme right, here, run your Python code. I simply click this run. The output will be shown in the terminal, because this is the .py extension. Every file that you are going to create with py file, the output will be shown here in the terminal. So if I again want to write print type of message, I just want to see that what type of variable is message. Again, I want to run it, then class string, because message contains a string constant, so it show me just that you are that here you have created a string class object, that is message. Similarly, now I am going to create another file, that is uh, hello dot ipynb. Now I am creating another file of Jupyter notebook. IPython, no, sorry, spell is wrong. IPython notebook. Since when you click on this, Jupyter notebook editor is opened, and I can write my code here in this cell. Is that script file .py is a script file. ipynb is a Jupyter notebook. In Jupyter notebook you can code inside the cells. For example, I'm going to write some code, again the same code. This is an object, and I'm going to assign some values. Hello to Python world, and then I'm going to print this object. So now, how you can run uh, print? Okay, print. Now, how you can run the Python generated code? By simply clicking this run command. Just, just accompanied with this cell. If I click this run command, look at this. Output will be displayed immediately after the cell. So look at this, hello to Python world. Now I want to add another cell, or I want to find the type of this object. How to find this object? If you move your cursor here in this right in the middle, here two things are there, code and markdown. What is code and what is markdown? Let's see it. If I press the code, here again another cell is appeared. Now here I'm going to print type. This is the IntelliSense. Now look at this, these are the behavior of IntelliSense that I just going to write. Oh, if you look at this, type ty, I just write ty. IntelliSense give me all option with the ty, the type error, try and try. So simple, I'm going to type and then the object of this type. So again, I'm going to run this cell. So class string. So now what is the markdown? If you click the markdown, markdown is just like a comment. Just like a comment. Here, I simply write, I'm going to write, welcome to Python. Welcome to Python. Now you can also, for example, now this is the comment, just by writing whatever you want to write. Now, okay, I have write hundred thousands of cells with output. Now I want to clear the output. Simply clear output of all cell by clicking this tab. All output will be clear. Now I want to run all the cells. So run all, if I click on this tab, look at this. The first cell is output, just execute, and the output is here. Second cell is there, and then comment is executed, welcome to Python. So these are the very basic steps to execute your Python code using VC code, Visual Studio Code environment. Acha, you can also install Python separately. Now to check whether Python is installed in your system or not, you can do if by going to command prompt by writing cmd. So cmd, then I'm click on command prompt. So in command prompt, just write py space and then hyphen and then version. It tells me that Python 3.10.4 is already installed in your system. Where is installed? Now I want to see the location. Then I'm going to write where Python. It tells me that Python is installed in C drive, spot, etc., etc., etc. Okay, now from terminal, I want to create my workspace and then I want to open VC code environment. How you can do that? For example, I am creating my workspace and desktop. Then I will simply move to desktop, cd, desktop, and then I will make a directory, make dir space my directory. Let's suppose I am giving a directory name my project. Now, my project is created. If I look at my desktop, this is my project. Now the directory is empty because there is nothing. I haven't created any file, either py or ipynb. So now I want to open VC code environment from there. From here, then simply write code space dot. Look at this. another version, another file of VC code is open here. Now, if you look at this desktop, uh, oh yes, I made a mistake. What is the mistake? When I create the directory, my project, I did not move to that directory. So again, I'm making another directory, make dir project 1, and then I have to move in the project 1 cd and project 1. From there, now I want to open code dot Visual Studio. Now look at this in this version. In the Explorer, this is my workspace project 1 I have created yet from the terminal, from the command prompt. Again, how to create file in this workspace? By simply clicking on this, and I am going to again write, okay, this time I am going to write test.py. Here editor with the text py is opened. Here again I'm going to create a variable uh, x is equal to 10. X is simply an object. This object has a reference to a value 10. Now I am going to display it, print, and uh, print and then x. So here if I run this program, the output will be appear in the terminal, that is 10. If you look at this, 10 is appeared. Similarly, if you want to write, uh, if you want to code in a Jupyter notebook, then again you have to write ipython notebook. This is another version of the file is opened with the ipynb extension. This time again I am going to x is equal to uh, welcome, and then I'm going to print x. So by simply clicking the run icon, so if you look at the output, welcome will be appeared right just behind the below the cell. So this is a very simple way to open a Visual Studio from command prompt, or even you can install standalone as we see in the first phase, and then by clicking Explorer to create your workspace, and then in workspace you can create several files. Similarly, you can create multiple projects. If you want to create another folder in your workspace, my folder, look at this now, my folder. In my folder, you again want to create some thing else. Now in my folder, these two files will be in my folder. My folder is in project directory. So this is a very simple method to run, to execute your Python code. Guys, Python program can also be run in the Anaconda environment using Jupyter Notebook. How this will be done? Hopefully, we will record another video to show that how Python program is executed in Jupyter Notebook using Anaconda environment. Thank you very much for being with us.